Alright, this is my video reflection from EDTE 4200 and our digital portfolio we made. I did my digital portfolio on Wix.com and the whole assignment turned out to be a great success for me, both in, I feel like, the quality of the work that I was able to generate and in my own learning of the material that we generated to put on the website. And some of the pros and some of the cons I'll go into, and the likes and dislikes. I'm going to start with cons first because there really weren't many. There were so many pros. I guess the cons I could think of were it was a little tough to get started with the system, to understand all of the instructions we were given, and to make sure we were covering all of our bases with here's how to set up the website, here's how to tweak it all to get it the way we're supposed to have it turned in, and make sure we have everything the way it's instructed. There were so many instructions that at first it was a little overwhelming to get started and to keep up with getting in the flow of other classes as well. But I think that's the case with many systems, regardless of what you do. So I really can't fault it. And I guess along with that, just being unsure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing at the beginning, and especially being an online class, the difficulty with getting confirmation. But at the same time, our professor Gonzalez was very good at communicating with us. Scheduling our coffee EDU meetings helped clear up those questions to where, I mean, I say that it was a little tough to get started, but within the first couple weeks, she had it all cleared up. So it was very well administered, very well guided. So that's really all the cons I had. For pros, though, it was a great way to get us experimentally learning as educators ourselves. So we had a lot of practice with these different technologies, and what was so great about it is that, one, we were allowed to choose what we were going to do. So we felt like we were exploring ourselves. It wasn't just assign and do. We had the chance to be exploring on our own what we wanted to check out, what we wanted to try, and what we were going to practice ourselves. So that was a great way of getting us in the experimental and the exploring place in our minds. We learned so many platforms. I know Google Classroom was probably my favorite, and on that platform alone, there was a lot of applications that we will be able to use as educators to kind of create a hub for our students to work through. But I mean, there are so many applications we could use, like Class Dojo, Remind 101, just to list a couple are, I feel like, essential services you might say as for teachers. Grading platforms, to use Flipgrid for video, things like this. I was not comfortable talking on a video until Flipgrid just made us do a lot of them and get us comfortable with it. And as teachers, I feel like we're going to need that a lot later, is the ability to create clear and helpful videos and a way to share them. Flipgrid was awesome. So I think, just as an overall reflection, there were so many platforms I never would have thought of and never really would have dug into without an experimental learning class like with this one. And without the freedom to really get out and look and search. And I like how it was kind of like a quest, like she showed us. It was kind of a web quest. And putting them all on the website, the Wix website, was kind of a learning endeavor and a way to organize all put together in one. Being able to organize content on a website was something that I probably would not have used in the future had it not been for this class making me do it. So I learned a valuable skill that was not only both useful for organizing our content for this class in an effective way, but it was also a skill that I will later be able to use. So in every facet of this class, I was able to both learn things that were helpful for this class and for learning the material, and also develop skills that will be helpful in the long run. And I got comfortable digitally on a lot more digital platforms. Getting digitally fluent and digitally literate is an important part of education, and being a part, a highly functioning part of our society, is being computer literate and getting used to using different programs and getting used to exploring the new programs that are out there, because they're coming out with so many new ones that, for example, our professor would say, hey, let me know if you find some other ones that I haven't seen yet, so that it's very up to date. And I thought that was a great quality of this assignment. It was very up to date, very modern, and cutting edge. And the note on how might I use these technologies with students or me as a teacher, and it's kind of what I've already said. Remind 101. How many times do students forget about homework? But just being able to punch in a little message to students that'll remind them, because they're already on their phones, is invaluable to me as a future educator, to have apps like that to help kind of aid students in the side of education that's hard, which is staying up on a lot of different things. We ask a lot of students for them to have all these different classes and to juggle them all, but to give them tools to manage their classes and later to manage a lot of their responsibilities in life, I think will be helpful for them to have tools like Remind 101, to have communication tools like we used in this class, Zoom, which later turned out to be something we're all using during the pandemic times to communicate with family and others. And Google Classroom will be one I would definitely use for my students, because it's so user-friendly and it's so well integrated throughout the different applications within Google Classroom. It's seamless and easy to share documents, which I found in my educational experience was a game changer. If we had to use a USB and plug it into each one of our computers and toss it around all the time to share documents, we never would have gotten through group projects that we did. And so to have the Google Classroom platform, the Google Drive, to share documents easily with was incredibly helpful. And and a lot of these platforms, such as video creation platforms, I'm excited to make more interactive slideshows and presentations with these video editing systems. iMovie. I never made an iMovie on my iPhone until this class, and it was so quick, so easy. So as educators, we're going to need things to streamline and to make us more efficient with our work, and this class helped me find those different methods. So it'll help me to be more organized, efficient, and productive as a teacher, and it'll help provide better instruction for my students in the future.